Stratus. I'm your host, Josh Matthews, alongside the best co-host in the world, Dr. Tom, for another edition of Bite This.
Josh, how's the pizza today, man?
Pizza's great. I've already gone through 2 pieces because we're
have.
starting the show a little late today, 6 minutes late. I'm getting text messages. Yeah, I'm a very busy guy, Dr. Tom.
Yes, you are a very busy
I got
guy.
lots of stuff going on. We got a great show going on today. The topic of today's show is, how do I get into the wrestling business? This is a question that, Dr. Tom, I'm sure you hear on a daily basis. We get it all the time here on Bite This. I'm sure the superstars of the WWE have to answer that question every single day. So we're going to try to help, answer that today here on Bite This.
Well, I also had the distinct pleasure of coaxing Nightmare Danny Davis into coming on the show today, because Danny doesn't really like to do a whole lot of things in front of the cameras, even though he's just going to be calling in. He'd like to stay behind the scenes, but thanks to a favor he owed me, I don't want to mention what it is, we're going to have Danny Davis on the show today from OVW.
That's right. Danny Davis is, of course, the owner and founder of Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is WWE's official developmental territory. For those of you who don't know, he's not the same guy, I repeat, not the same guy as former WWE referee. We also have Mike the Miz Mizanin? Is that his name? Can I get confirmation? Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
I'm in my ear.
Josh,
okay, thank you.
You don't have anything in your ear.
I got Mizanin, who you've seen on MTV's The Real World and Real World Road Rules Challenge. He's currently training to become a WWE superstar. So best of luck to The Miz, as we'll call him here. We also have Paul London, who's traveled all around the world, probably to London as well, to become a superstar here in the WWE. Paul London will be on the phone.
Josh, I think this is going to be a very interesting show, just for the mere fact that everybody wants to know how to get in World Wrestling Entertainment or how to become a professional wrestler. Josh,
right.
Once again, there's nothing in your ear except a turd. So I understand. Yeah, you can go ahead and say it.
And we're also going to have a surprise diva calling in. I'm not sure who that's going to be, but I can't wait. But right now, calling in, we haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks, so let's not waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Droz. What's up, Droz?
Not too much, guys. I missed being on the show, but had a little hospital, spent a little time in the hospital the last couple of weeks, so it's great to be back on with you guys.
How you feeling today, Droz?
I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, Doc. Yeah, it was good to see you, by the way, on Sunday, man. It was really good to see you.
Yeah, it was good to see you too. I had the opportunity to stop by and see Droz in the hotel room. Thank you very much. In the hospital, Droz. I wish it was a hotel room.
I agree.
Yeah, man. But obviously, well, it's better in the hospital, Josh. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, so you're feeling a lot better. We missed you on the show as well. How's the new column going, Droz? I'm having a hard time talking today, man.
Did you guys do your exercises? Lion face, lemon face.
Droz? How's the new column going, Droz?
It's going okay now. I'm looking forward to, it's like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I've talked to you guys, since I've gotten my column up, so I'm just kind of looking forward to, getting it out there, just let everybody know what's going on, kind of, and, picking up and where I left off, I guess.
Droz, we're looking at something now. This is the new SmackDown, the magazine, and right there you can see an article on Droz. We got a graphic for that, or we're gonna do it the old school way. It's catching up with Droz. There you see some kick-ass pictures of Droz there, and the article looks good, Droz.
You know what? I actually haven't checked it out yet. Somebody picked it up for me, and I'm looking forward to later tonight. Actually, they're going to drop it off, so I got to check that out tonight.
It's cool, man. It's kick-ass.
Yeah, did you get a chance to see the tape of the Rumble yet?
You know what the worst thing is? I tried calling up to see. It never got delivered to my house.
Oh!
I usually get it on Tuesday. I called in yesterday, but I missed somebody, so it's killing me now, but I still have to check it out.
Well, we had a very interesting Royal Rumble on Sunday, and I got to tell you, Chris Benoit came out the winner, and this past Monday we saw Chris on Raw. Your thoughts on that?
Well, and again, Dr. John,
you haven't seen Raw.
Monday night I was in the hospital, and of course they didn't have Spike TV. I'm way behind in the game. That's what I said. I'm like behind on everything, and it's killing me, and I'm sorry about that, but...
Droz, it's cool. The topic of today's show is, how do I get into the wrestling business? Do you have any advice for anyone, anything that you want to say to anybody who's listening right now here on WWE.com, how to get into the business?
I'd say the number one thing is no matter what happens, you have to have determination, you have to have drive. I mean, without those two things, you're never going to get anywhere in the business, I mean, guys have come, like Dr. Tom, back in the day, how guys got in the business, going all different territories. I mean, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the drive. I mean, there's so many, there's so many people out there trying to get into business these days, and I think a lot of them are trying the wrong way. I think Dr. Tom and I talked about this the other day, actually. about some of the things that people are doing trying to get into wrestling. But I think you really just need to, give it everything you have, and hey, you got to stick with it and try until you finally get a shot. And I mean, it's definitely not for everybody, but if you're determined it's something you really want to do, you got to stick with it. Just like anything else.
Well, I know how tough it was when you came to WWF at the time and started training in the warehouse over at the TV studio when it was cold in the wintertime, man, and a sweat box in the summertime. I just know that a lot of guys who send me tapes lately have been given a lot of promos talking about they'll do whatever it takes, but they quit within the first 4 hours of actual training.
Well, I mean, like you said, the training we went through, freezing cold in the wintertime, going through bronchitis and sweating to death in the summertime. And
yeah.
I mean, you have to give it everything you have. And I mean, like you said, some guys say guys and girls say they'll do anything that they can to get in, but 4 hours into it, they're blown up, they're beat up, and they give up. And if it's truly something that you want to do, you're not going to give up on it. You're going to do whatever you can to get into the business. Try to figure out a way. I know it's. Yeah, I know. Just like and everybody else, it's a tough business to get into. But if it's in your heart, and in your blood, you're gonna keep trying. You're gonna try to find a way.
Well, even if it takes getting puked on, and Mark Henry found out the hard way too. Yeah, that was a unique skill you had. I'm wondering, have you had the inclination to be puking anytime except when you're in the hospital last year?
Well, I had more than enough puking going on when I was in the hospital. That was the whole problem. So, I miss the old puking days where I could say, okay, I feel like getting sick, and I could throw up, and I could walk around and throw up on somebody if I wanted to, and things like that. But the puking I've been doing lately wasn't too much fun. But that's over and done with, hopefully now for good. And but I still like looking back on the olden days. That it's always entertaining looking back, and you get a good laugh out of it.
And all you fans watching us here on Bite This, you can do that by picking up the new SmackDown, the magazine, catching up with Droz. Droz, thank you for letting us know, what you think it takes to get into the wrestling business, and we appreciate you being back here on Bite This. Hope to talk to you next week.
All right, guys, you take care.
All right, see you, Droz.
Feel better, man.
All right, thanks.
It's my new thing, Dr. Tom. I go like this.
Yeah, that's a great new thing, man. Why didn't you go by and see Josh while you're in Philly?
I did see Josh while I was in Philly.
Droz. I'm having a really hard time.
Did you do your exercises? Lion face, raw, lemon face, lion face, lion face,
Look at that lion face, man.
That's how you warm up your mouth.
Yeah, I got you to work your mouth here. Yeah, that's good, Josh. Whoa. No, Josh is not gay. He's
Hey, this has nothing to do with being gay. It's exercises so you can pronunciate the right words and get the right enunciation.
Oh, well, why don't you pronunciate this, okay?
Okay, we got a great show. Give us a call, 888-LIVE-WWE.
No, man, why do we have to have Danny Davis on a show like this, Josh, when you're just being a total ass?
What are you talking about?
I mean, the lion face raw. Yeah.
What? Danny Davis isn't even on the phone yet.
Yeah,
we're going to talk to Danny Davis, owner of Ohio Valley Wrestling, just as soon as we get him on the phone. He's going to tell us all about what he thinks it takes to get into the wrestling business, and we're going to have a great show.
You want to gobble my one-eyed trouser drop?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but now calling us on the phone is Danny Davis, owner of Ohio Valley Wrestling. And Danny, how you doing? Great to have you on the show.
Hey, doing great for someone down here in the South sick with the flu.
Yeah, that's okay. You just ought to be glad you're not here because Josh is just plain sick, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bradshaw tells me a lot about him, too. So.
Oh, Bradshaw hates Josh.
Yeah, he does. He does
hate Josh, man.
Mr. Davis, tell us a little bit about OVW, how it started, when, why, that sort of thing.
Oh, good grief. How much time do you have?
We got 18 seconds. Go.
That's not damn.
I founded the company a little over 10 years ago, and once I retired from the road, and I relocated to Louisville, wanted to open a wrestling school, and had some interest, and what can I say? I'm still in business.
Well, Danny, I know that OVW has really kind of blossomed into the official WWE training center, and a lot of people call you, they call me, send you tapes, and want to know what they have to do to get there. But what I want to know is what happens if somebody just shows up on the front doorstep?
Well, if somebody just shows up on the front doorstep, usually I don't talk to them. They have to get in by appointment only because we just have so many people Every week, I usually get anywhere from 20 to 30 or 40 tapes. I get a lot of videotapes in the mail, and I tell you, I've seen some good ones, and I've seen some really, really bad ones.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about the OVW tryout camp that's coming up? And for more information about the OVW tryout camp, click on the link on the main page of WWE.com.
Right. The tryout camp, it starts Sunday, March the 26th, and it goes through Sunday, March the 21st, and goes through Friday, March the 26th. And we're going to have 50 applicants, just like last year, and we're going to have Dr. Tom Pritchard's going to be there as one of the trainers to help evaluate these attendees, and myself, Jim Cornette, and Rip Rogers, and basically we're going to run them through a bunch of drills and find out if anyone who's there actually has the talent and the desire to become an OVW performer or a potential WWE superstar.
Well, there you go. Anyone who's listening right here on Bite This, there you go, right there. Go to WWE.com, find out all about the OVW tryout camp, and you get your foot in the door. And let's go on the phone now. This is Josh calling from Los Angeles. Josh, you're on the phone with Danny Davis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Very well, Josh. How are you?
I'm very good today.
Very good. I hope the weather out there is nicer than it is in Louisville or Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, it's. I'm originally from New York, so I'm actually enjoying this a whole lot.
Good for you. Got a question?
Yeah, I've been a lifelong fan of the WWE, and unfortunately, my physical prowess isn't such that I could become a pro wrestler. But I've always wanted to be like Bobby the Brain Heenan or Jimmy the Master South Hart.
Right.
How would someone go about becoming a manager in the World Wrestling Entertainment?
Well, that's a tough question because there's not many managers nowadays. There are valets who are obviously quite different than managers. The best thing I can tell you, and maybe Dr. Tom could give you a better explanation since he's up there in WWE, but best thing I can tell you to do is stand in front of a mirror, cut as many promos about anything you want to, and send the videotape in, and let's evaluate it and see what happens.
Well, I think timing is everything, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I think Teddy Long found that out as well, being a referee here in WWE, and then it just happened to be the right place at the right time.
It blossomed right into a good career for him.
Right, no doubt. Let's go ahead and stay with the phones. Josh, you want to handle this one too?
Mark from Jacksonville, you're on the phone with Danny Davis, owner of Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, I want to know how Matt and John from Tough Enough are doing.
They're doing great. They're a great tag team. They're probably the next several months, I think you'll probably see them full time on the WWE roster. Those kids are doing real well.
Mr. Davis, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Danny, if you would, why don't you just tell us about maybe the progress that guys like Brock Lesnar or Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, of course, and then your very own nephew Doug Basham.
I don't claim him.
Oh, you don't anymore? Okay. Well, but I mean, why don't you just give us an idea of how they went from training and eventually made it up to WWE?
Well, first of all, you got to have a work ethic that's probably unequal to anything you've ever done in your life. These guys have to be in class at 7:30 every morning, and you got to work your butts off till probably 12, 1 o'clock. 4 or 5 days a week, plus do live shows during the week. Your work ethic speaks a lot for you. You've got to have the drive, the desire, and if you got some bruises or aches and pains, guys like Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, and my nephew Doug Basham, they never were quitters, never were complainers. If they had an ache or pain, you never knew it. They just went out there and did what they had to do because they had a goal in mind. They wanted to get to the WWE, and that's exactly what they've done.
Mr. Davis, we're going to have a very important diva giving us a call here on Bite This in a little bit later on. Can girls come try out for OVW? Be down there with the guys down there too?
Say it again.
Girls, do you allow females? Do you train females as well?
Oh yes.
Well, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of females who came from OVW. Jazz was one of them who trained, as well as Victoria. Molly Holly makes frequent visits down to OVW. And, of course, the current superstars on the WWE roster go down just to keep
Jackie Gator's another one.
Jackie Gator came as
well.
Nydia.
Nydia? Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think in OVW, everybody is given...
Shaniqua, we don't want to forget Shaniqua.
Shaniqua, yes. pretty fair chance to be good and get your hone your craft, so to speak. And Josh, I guess let's go back to the phones here while you fix your glasses in here.
Let's go back to Eric from Indiana. Eric, you're on the phone with Danny Davis.
Danny.
Yes.
What's up with the Crusade Slam Fest coming up next month?
Say it again. I can't hear you.
The Crusade for Children Slam Fest show?
Yes.
I've got people asking me about it.
Ooh. If you click on the website, you get all the information. The Crusade Slam Fest is going to take place Saturday night, February the 7th. Our original location was going to be at St. Therese Gym, but the demand for seating has gotten more than what the St. Therese Gym could hold. So we're going to hold it at the home of OVW. That's at Davis Arena, 4400 Shepherdsville Road in Louisville. The same card, the same bell time. Doors open at 6:30, bell time at 7:30, and all the proceeds will go towards the WHAS Crusade for Children, which is a big event here in Louisville.
Of course, I believe Billy Gunn is on that card as
Billy
well.
Billy Gunn, Canyon will be here, yes.
Yeah. Danny, we have an email from Ryan of Long Beach, California. It says, I hear all the veterans say you got to pay your dues in this business, but Ryan wants to know, how can an individual such as myself pay his dues when he can't pay them financially?
That's a tough question.
Uh-huh.
Usually, for those who can't attend the tryout camp and pay financially, for the fee that we have, there's another alternative. We do offer a beginners program. It meets 1 day a week, and usually on a Saturday, and we'll work something out with them. We try to accommodate everybody. We don't want to turn anybody away because they don't have the financial resources to join right away, but we don't take just anybody. We screen everyone, and we don't want to waste our time or take anybody's money. We want to we want to make sure that the individuals that we accept actually have the look to be an OVW performer as well as a WWE future star.
And of course, you can check out Ohio Valley Wrestling's website, ovwwrestling.com.
No,
OV
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
ovwrestling.com. Thanks, Dr. Tom.
Yeah.
And you can give us a call at 888-LIVE-WWE if you have any questions for Danny Davis. We got a lot of email questions too, Dr. Tom. Would you care to?
Well, somebody also wanted to know here about the people from outside the U.S. They want to know how to make it to WWE and how to get started. Obviously, OVW has had people from outside the United States, and could you tell us about how many people you've got from the other side of the pond, so to speak?
Well, in last year's camp, we had probably, I think we accepted somewhere around 10 or 12, people from Australia and England, Scotland, and Ireland, around there. So this year, I don't have the list in front of me, but we're probably going to have maybe not quite as many coming from across the pond, but we're still going to have maybe 7 or 8.
Wow, people from all over the world coming to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Let's go back to the phones now. This is Matt calling from New Jersey. Matt, you're on the phone with Danny Davis.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Question?
Are there any big names right now in OVW that may get called up to the WWE roster anytime soon?
Did you say, are there any females?
Big names. Big names, Danny. Anybody, if you want to go ahead and read off the names of the guys who happen to be in OVW right now, along with the Johnny Stamboli, Shannon Moores, Tommy Dreamers, Ivory, who else? Jacqueline.
Right.
Who?
Yeah, Jacqueline.
I was going to say, who else? Who else is, who am I leaving off right now?
Well, Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn, yeah. And of course, the next month we're going to have many superstars coming.
Correct.
Up from OVW.
Well, I'd like to ask Dr. Tom and Danny Davis, who do you guys think that's down there right now who we haven't seen on TV before that maybe is ready to make that next step to be on either Raw or SmackDown?
Well, I'll tell you, we've got several. Of course, Nick Dinsmore, who's the best technical wrestler in OVW. His protege, so to speak, is a young kid by the name of Johnny Jeter. He's got a real bright future ahead of him. He just needs a little more seasoning because, OVW is one thing, but once you get to the WWE, that's a horse of a different color. That's you've got you're performing in front of millions and millions of people, and you got to really hone your skills. So, but Nick Dinsmore is probably ready to go at any time. Johnny Jeter, he's great. So, plus you got Nova, you got Aaron Stevens. There's a lot of young talent who if called upon could do the job, but sometimes it's better to wait than to throw them out there and not be noticed.
Well, one other superstar that came from OVW, Matt Morgan.
Yeah, Matt
had the opportunity to be seen and is now getting an opportunity to learn his craft as well, because as you said, you can learn just so much in an empty arena, or you can learn just so much from wrestling the same guys.
Correct.
And that's actually the next step.
Correct.
And let's go back to the phones. This is Brittany calling from Chicago. Brittany, you're on the phone with Danny Davis.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? How are things in the Windy City?
All good. And I want to know, is it true that Nitty, your sister, works at OVW? And
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lourdes, yes, she does. She is OVW's Nurse Lulu.
Well, another thing I've noticed in OVW is even if you don't happen to have a contract in hand, you're given the opportunity to showcase the talents that you have. And with the agents, of course, I go down to OVW every month, but you have superstars coming to rehab injuries and coming to get in ring shape who also notice some of these guys. And,
exactly.
It's really a plus being there, whether you're under a contract with us or not.
Yeah, if you don't have a contract, if you're good enough to be in our advanced program, you get seen by the WWE talent scouts, all the agents that come in on a regular basis. So it's a real good program, and if you're fortunate enough, and you're good enough, then the WWE will recognize that, and good things could happen.
Let's take a. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Danny, a little bit later on, I know we have a special diva calling in, or a surprise diva calling in. And I'm just wondering if you might know who that would be.
I can only guess. It's probably that
Julie?
lady that takes back jewelry. I don't know.
Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Well, Danny, one more question here. This is from Pro Wrestling, from our instant feedback gimmick we got going on here. While in the beginner's class, what do you look for in a student to invite them to the advanced class? More dedication, desire and heart, or physical look?
Yeah, we look for the physical look. We look for their work ethic. Obviously we want to find if they have attitudes. There's a variety of things. We try not to discriminate against anybody, but the fact of the matter is, to be an OVW superstar or WWE potential superstar, you got to possess certain qualifications, and if you got a good work ethic, you listen well, you do what you're asked to do, you're always on time, you shut your mouth, do what you're told, so to speak, then we certainly look at you.
Well, Danny, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on Bite This. Dr. Tom says you don't like to be on air all the time, so we really appreciate you joining us here on this Thursday afternoon.
Well, I feel honored that you asked, and I certainly appreciate it.
All right, if you have any information, if you want to know any information about the OVW tryout camp, check out WWE.com, and you can get all the information right there. Mr. Davis, thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, Dr. Tom, one thing before I go.
Yes.
You know that when you come to Louisville, you also like to take your trips to the Bahamas on a daily basis?
Yes.
Well, the Bahama trips are working again, just to let you know.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right.
I love going to the
Gentlemen up there,
Bahamas.
have a lovely day, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Danny. I'll see you next week.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good one. Hey, I just want to mention that on the cover of the new Raw magazine, we have Trish Stratus.
What's with all these Trish magazines all over the place?
I don't know, but check this out, man.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all.
Ooh, look at
I'm
that
just
one.
saying.
I'm
We don't
just saying
normally
that, too.
have.
What are you saying?
I don't know. If you have any questions for us or for Paul London, who will be our next guest, give us a call at 888-LIVE-WWE. We got a lot going on here today, Dr. Tom. I'm out of pizza. There's some over there. I want to go get some more, but
Yeah,
I'll have to
why
wait
don't
for
you
them
go over there and just stay
Well, I
there
gotta
for a
wait for them
while,
to put a thing up. This guy over on our instant feedback hates that I'm eating pizza on the air. What's his name?
I hate the Jeep pizza on the air.
What's
so
his
does
name?
everybody else. Yeah.
Where's it at? He's gone.
Yeah, you're
Aw,
gone.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to write it down, but I don't have a pen.
Why don't you write it with your fingers on the pizza sauce you left on the table?
I didn't leave any pizza sauce on the
Paul
table.
London's a young man who obviously has been around the world, as we've talked about. He's made his way in Japan, had a lot of tours, and he is one of those guys who has got a lot of attention on the independent scene, but at the same time, he's been in WWE for I'm not sure how long. He really has yet to make his mark. And
I've had an opportunity to call a lot of Paul London's matches on Velocity, and he grabs your attention each and every time he's in the ring, whether he's in there tag teaming or whether he's in there by himself. But let's go now to the phones. We got Paul London on the phone. Paul, how you doing today?
And I'm Sandy Dandy.
Paul, where are you at right now? Are you in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Austin right now at my apartment. I just finished up some yoga and Pilates, and now I'm ready for the interview. I'm doing great.
Oh, very good, man. How's the yoga and karate coming along?
Well, it's not just karate; it's Pilates.
Oh, Pilates. Oh,
Yeah, it's cutting edge. So
yeah, I've heard about those Pilates, man. That's really, it's pretty good exercise.
No, it's good. I'm feeling good.
Paul, the number one question we're getting, of course, is your reaction to Spanky's resignation.
I knew that was going to come up.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I knew Brian was thinking about he kept talking about Japan and how much he missed it, and he was he's like one of my best friends, so we talked about it for quite a while. So I wasn't really too surprised. I just think that I guess I was expecting a little bit more of a heads up. I didn't expect it to be like, I expected something like, I think I'm going to do it next week, or I think I'm going to talk to them about it next week, instead of, I think I'm going to talk to them about it in 10 minutes. I was like, whoa! So,
right.
But it didn't really surprise me, and I talked to him recently, and he sounded really, really, really good, and really happy, and so I think I know he put a lot of thought into it.
Well, good.
Well, Paul, let me ask you this. Do you think it was just the fact that he was missing Japan, or do you think there was more to it than that, or did you think that maybe possibly he just wasn't happy for other reasons?
I think it was a combination of everything. I think he missed Japan. I think, because a lot of people don't know, but when Spanky went to Japan, he already had a bit of a following on the Indies, but when he got to Japan, I mean, they put him right there, right in the spotlight, gave him, this gimmick that was really over, doing Leonardo Spanky. I think he was their first cruiserweight champion, like right off the bat, and I think, I'm not saying that when he came to WWE he was expecting success right off the bat, but because I know he was really happy there, but I think he just got a little bit discouraged because it was like he had this amazing match with Kurt Angle, and then it was like then there was a teased angle there with John Cena, and I think he just kind of felt like that carrot was dangling in front of him.
Yeah, well, that's what seems to happen to a lot of people, I guess. But let's talk about you, Paul London. We got you on the phone tonight.
Let's do it. There are no carrots here. Let's do it.
Exactly. I don't know what you're talking about. I never do when I talk to Paul London. Never have any idea what he's talking about. But tonight on SmackDown, you team up with Billy Kidman. Is this something that you're hoping to see continue?
I do, actually. I think it's very exciting. There had been a little bit of talk about it happening, and I showed up at the building and originally had a dark match set up, and then I think about 30 minutes before people were going to come into the building, they said, hey, we're putting you with Kidman tonight. And I was very excited about it because it was like, wow, this is there's a whole lot of potential there to do many, many things. And I'm very excited about it. We have similar styles and I guess a similar look. And I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm just looking forward to where that can go. So.
Awesome. And Paul, right here on Bite This today, our topic is how do I become a superstar in the WWE? How do I make it into this business? And you have quite a story. Can you tell us a little bit about your quest to make it here to the WWE?
Yeah, I actually, a lot of kids coming out of high school, they just, they think they're supposed to go to college and stuff like that, and I was getting a lot of pressure, obviously, to go to college and everything, and I wanted to. It was in my mind, but I couldn't get wrestling off the brain. It's all I wanted to do. And so what I did was I selected different colleges around the country that I knew had, pretty good wrestling schools nearby, so I could tell my parents, hey, I'm going to college, but hey, I'm really going to wrestling school too. But the best thing is just find a really, really, really good wrestling school. And one of the best pieces of advice I ever read, I can't remember where I read it. It was like in a book or something about getting into wrestling. Was make sure that the trainers are people you know of and are people you looked up to. It's like, how can you expect somebody to make you a star if they couldn't make themselves a star? Right. You just have so many wrestling schools out there that are run by, like, Gypsy Joe or I don't know. You just like, who is that? Or something. And who are you trained by? Oh, I was trained by Frank the mechanic. And like, who? Like, it's you got to go somewhere where the trainers have been there and done that several times over. I mean, because it's true. How can you expect anybody to show you what you need to know to get to where you want to be? Which everybody can't help but admit that WWE is where everyone needs to be and wants to be. I mean, it's the top. How can you expect anybody to get you there if they couldn't get themselves there? And so the trainers, I think, are the most important thing. And so look for a top school that has a trainer you've heard of and you feel can get you where you want to be, and just do nothing but ask questions. I mean, I think Dr. Tom can tell you I would call him all the time asking questions. As far as what can I do? What do I need to do? And don't feel like you're bothering somebody, because I would always call him like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. And really it's, if you want it that bad, you just gotta be tenacious, just get after it and just ask questions. You have to be that sponge and soak up everything you can and as much knowledge as you possibly can, and take any piece of advice you can, whether it's good or bad. I mean, there's no such thing as bad advice. Really, I think when you really feel someone's trying to help you and someone's in a position to help you, as bad as it might sound, like, well, you look like crap, you really need to hit the gym, or, oh my God, you're pale as a ghost, you really need a tan. Don't take these things personal. Listen to what they're saying, not how they say it. But just ask questions, just everything you can think of.
Well, one thing that I do want to touch on real quick, because you do mention about it matters who the trainer is, but at the same time, it doesn't always mean that all the great players will make great coaches. And some you can obviously learn from more than others, no doubt about it. But what has some of the advice had, if any, what kind of effect has it had on you? If the guys or the people around WWE, whether it be agents or whoever, when they tell you to go to the gym, when they tell you need to look the part?
It definitely has a huge effect. I'll admit, I mean, there's no secret. Like recently, Bob Holly and Chris Benoit kind of got on me a little bit because I think they thought I was skipping out and getting to the gym, and that was a mistake, because I mean, I do go to the gym, and guys work out differently than others. Some just are insane about it, and some I think are a little more passive and stuff like that. And I think for whatever reason I took it like, hey, not that I took offense to it, but it was just like, I guess I was more ashamed. And but then I thought, I was like, you know what, these guys are really trying to help me. The whole company's a family, and everyone just wants to see the whole company succeed and, just improve and constantly just get better and better. And so I've just been hitting it so much harder. Any piece of advice I accept, and I love it when people give me feedback and advice. And it's like not just on hitting the weights, but on diet, nutrition, or even like something such as like tanning products. I mean, you never know, because you don't want to, hey, they just said tan, and hey, I'll just use this, and you find you got streaks all over your back. What do you do then? You got to have advice on as much as you can. And so it's just, I've found that everyone I've asked questions has just been really, really helpful. I think there's a misconception that the older guys don't want to give advice to the younger guys, and I just think that's false. I think that's not true at all.
Okay.
It's just a matter of the younger guys, asking questions, just showing that they want to learn.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to the phones now. We got lots of questions for Paul London. This is Martin from the UK. Martin, you're on the phone with Paul London.
Oh, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, mate?
I'm fine, and yourself? Good. Sweet as. Last year you appeared in the UK for a company called Frontier Wrestling Alliance. How did it feel to work for them? What are your feelings about your learning in the UK?
Oh, I loved it. I went there part of a promotion called Frontiers of Honor with Ring of Honor, and I loved wrestling in the UK. I loved the fans. I thought were amazing, and the wrestlers I thought were all very, very talented. That was actually that's probably the most fun I've had on a wrestling trip ever. And I had the opportunity to go to their wrestling school and train with the wrestlers and the students coming up and everything. It was a lot of fun. I think British wrestlers put more of an emphasis on technical wrestling and chain wrestling, and I think it shows. You have guys like William Regal. I think it's amazing. And so I was able to learn a lot actually getting in there, and it made you feel like you didn't know anything as far as chain wrestling goes when you were in there with those guys. But I really enjoyed it. I loved wrestling over there for the fans of the UK. It was awesome, and I hope I can go back soon. So.
Thanks for the question. We got another phone call here. This is Rebecca from Connecticut. Rebecca, you're on the phone with Paul London.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm actually enjoying my 60-degree weather. I'm sure it's pretty cold where you're at, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to throw that in.
Freezing. I was wondering, what was it like winning the Super 8 last year, and do you hope to participate in it again?
The Super 8, participating in it was like a dream come true because growing up in high school, reading all the wrestling magazines and everything, you always read about the Super 8, and you had these everyone that was in the Super 8 usually went on to do something awesome. I mean, if you look at the history of who's been in it, you know, Billy Kidman, the Hardys, Chris Daniels, I mean, just super talented guys have been in the Super 8, and so it was like, really, it was weird. After I was in the Super 8, and then after I won the Super 8, it still hadn't really sunk in, and I mean, it's weird. I have this this poster that I put up on my wall that I made with some of the clippings and stuff like that, and I look up there sometimes and I think about it, I'm like, God, I still can't believe I was actually a part of that because it's so much history involved in that. It was so amazing. And if ever given the opportunity, I would love to participate in it again. I think it would be great. I know that Spanky was given, he was in it a second time, and so I know that it's not something completely out of the question, so I'd love that opportunity if given the chance. So.
Rebecca, thanks for the question. Paul London, tonight on SmackDown, teams with Billy Kidman. Hopefully, maybe this is something we're going to see in the future. And, Paul, we really appreciate you taking out the time, joining us here on this Thursday afternoon here on Bite This.
Oh, thank you. I had a blast.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks.
Good luck.
Do you like my new point? It's my new thing. I just point now.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I like the new Raw magazine, man. Trish Stratus on the cover, and if you look up here on the corner, Terry Runnels.
This isn't new,
Stacey.
by the way.
Well, it doesn't matter.
This came out
in when did it come out?
September of 2002.
Okay, it's not new. It's
2004. Then why is this on our desk?
I don't know why. You know what? That's the trick of this whole thing. Why is this on our desk?
Phil?
We have a surprise diva calling in, though I understand later on today.
Do you think it's Trish Stratus?
No, not at all.
Wink, wink.
What?
If you have any questions for The Miz, give us a call at 888-LIVE-WW. Every time I hear the word The Miz, I think of The Wiz, which is a store where you buy
about
electronics.
taking a whiz. Hey, listen, man, what about, why are these?
I don't know.
Trish Stratus. 2002, man.
Do it on the keyboard, would you, Phil?
Yeah, I was going to say, what is this?
Phil, if you want to talk to me, it's got to be on the keyboard.
Oh, I see what you're saying, man.
Oh.
I didn't mean
ahead,
that earlier
Dr.
about
Tom.
taking a whiz. I mean, of course, every time I sit next to, like you, I think about taking a whiz. Or
now, hey, speaking of that, our next guest on the show is The Miz. Miz,
what's up? Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm
doing great.
How are you doing? I'm doing good. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, where are you calling from, Miz?
I am calling from Iowa. I'm actually doing a club appearance out here.
Really?
Club appearance, huh?
Yeah, good times, good times.
There's lots of clubs in Iowa. It's off the hook in Iowa.
What's that?
It's off the hook in Iowa. There's lots of clubs up there.
Yeah, it's definitely off the hook here. It's like 15 below zero down here. I'm freezing my butt off.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, we understand that you and Paul London have a connection. We just had Paul London on the phone, is why I'm asking that question.
Yeah, just a little connection. I guess Paul knows one of the Real World Back to New York cast members that was on my season. He knows Kevin. They're both from Austin, Texas, I guess, and I guess they used to hang out all the time. So it's quite ironic.
Well, tell us how you decided to become a wrestler and what you did once you decided to do that, because the topic of our show, of course, is how to get into the business of sports entertainment.
Yeah, well, it was like I got on the Real World back to New York, and it was like a dream for me to be on the Real World. As stupid as it sounds, and as corny as it sounds, I was always a big fan. And then, like, after I was done with the Real World, I was like, you know what? I can follow any dream I want. So back when I was a little kid, I used to watch like WWF, and I used to watch it all the time, looking at Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, people like that. Just looking at them like they're larger than life. I can never be something like that. And then after I got off the Real World, I was just like, you know what? I can follow any dream. I can do anything I want. So I just looked up on Google.com and looked up pro wrestling schools and found a school. And ever since then, been wrestling and fell in love with it.
So how many years have you actually been wrestling?
I'll be going on second year.
Okay.
All right. Well,
about a year and 10 months.
we do have actually some emails for you, Miz. I'm not going to ask this one. It's from Tony of Northville, Michigan. How you came up with the name The Miz. Hey, Tony of Northville, Michigan, look at his last name, and that's how he came up with the name. And then Phil puts these on our sheets.
You don't have to read it,
like these are intelligent.
Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to read it.
I like to let our fans know what's going on. We also received a ton of emails asking about the status of your relationships with Coral and Trishelle. A few people asked if Coral would be your valet if you make it here to the WWE.
Hey, if they want her, you know, I'm just basically, if WWE tells me to do something, I do it. That's basically what would happen if I got there. So if they wanted Coral, I definitely think Coral would definitely be a very good valet. She is very voluptuous and very beautiful, so it'd work out pretty well.
Well, I wonder how voluptuous and beautiful Rachel from Rachel from Connecticut is on the phone. Rachel, you're on with The Miz.
Hi, Mike.
What's up, Rachel? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thanks.
That is good. I was wondering if you feel that any of your in-ring experience helped you do better in all of the MTV challenges you've been in.
Yeah, you know, I actually get that question a lot, and it really has. I mean, wrestling, I mean, it not only does it, like, challenge you physically, but mentally, just thinking of new things to do and basically being creative, and that's what basically, like, all these challenges are. It's like, you know, I train really hard in the ring and as well as out because you always got to be in training mode when you want to be, you know, a WWE superstar. So trying to just basically train and that kind of stuff helped me train for, like, the challenges and that kind of stuff. So it worked out well.
Very
Rachel,
good.
thanks for the question. Go ahead,
Thank you, Rachel.
No, I was just going to say we have an email here from Joyce of Revere, Massachusetts. Joyce wants to know, are you single, and how would becoming a wrestler affect your real-world appearances?
My real-world appearances?
Yeah, that's what she says.
I really don't know how it would affect. I mean, I'd hopefully still be able to do as many appearances as possible. I mean, the fans are what made The Miz, like, whatever it is today. So, I mean, I always thank them all the time.
Yeah.
And what was the other question?
Are you single?
Am I single? Yeah, I'm single, and I'm mingling and jingling all around.
Great. We got another phone call. This is Tyra calling from Louisiana, the dirty South.
Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tyra.
How you doing?
Good.
I just got one question, man. I just want to know, your relationship with Coral, is it a lot deeper than it seems? I mean, it seems like it's pretty deep.
I mean, it's deep, but it's not like a relationship as in, like, we're dating or, like, it's more like a brother and sister type thing. I mean, as beautiful as she is, we just had too much brotherly, sisterly, like, stuff that it would be kind of weird if I ever did anything with her.
Ooh. Josh does weird stuff all the time.
Why do you find her attractive?
Dr. Tom, do you find her attractive?
Well, sure. Certainly.
Awesome.
A little bit.
Dr. Tom loves her.
I do. I think she's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We got more emails here. This is from Dan of Cincinnati. Miz, if you ever become a superstar, who would be your dream match? Who would you like to face?
Dream match?
Yeah.
I think I've always looked up to The Rock. So I mean, I always love I would just love to get on the mic with him and just start rapping back and forth. I think that'd be like the ultimate thing ever.
You think you can hang with The Rock on the mic?
I doubt it. I doubt it, but you know, I'm always confident and always up for the challenge, and so I would love to do it. But who knows if I can battle him out?
Let's hear something. Let's hear. The Rock just called you a jabroni who likes to eat sausage
and play with your sister.
And play with his sister.
No, play with your sister. So that Rock just said that to you. So let's hear some back. What would you say back to him?
Well, little Rocky. Well, you see, when The Miz comes out and whenever we rap together, I'm messing up like, no, you guys caught me off guard.
That's okay. Relax. Take some. Start over again.
I guess I would. My voice would crack, and I'd be like, okay.
Well, all right. That would probably work too, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, that was probably the worst promo ever, I guess.
All right. Well, this Freddie of West Palm Beach, Florida, wants to know what's your finishing move.
The finishing move.
I hope
is,
it's not your talk. I hope it's not your talking.
Wizard of Oz. And the reason why I call it the Wizard of Oz is because when you take it, there's no place like home.
It's not bad.
Oh, very nice. What's your finishing move, Josh?
Mine?
Yes.
I don't have.
All right,
I don't
very
have
good.
nor
Hey,
need
Miz,
a finishing move.
You're not kidding. Hey, Miz, let me ask you this. Where do you see your career right now in wrestling? Do you feel that you're ready to make the move to WWE, or how far do you think you need to go? How much longer do you think you need to be?
As of right now, like my in-ring work isn't up to where I want it to be. I wouldn't basically say that I could make it to the WWE as of right now and get in the ring and basically say like I would be, like a Kurt Angle or a Chris Benoit. But I mean, I would say I definitely need a good kick in the butt, right? In the like maybe OVW developmental and develop my craft from there. I'm definitely in a. I don't think like I'm good enough right now to go in the WWE because I think that there's a lot of things that I need to work on, as in like mic work, along with my body, along with my appearance, along with just everything. I just want it to be perfect to the T, so when I get up there, I can really make an impact.
Well, it sounds like you got your head in the right place. Let's go now to the phones. This is Megan from Illinois calling. Megan, you're on the phone with The Miz.
Hi, Mike.
Whoa.
Hi, how are you?
Whoa, lay off the caffeine, Megan. Oh, my God.
From Illinois.
I'm deaf.
This is a challenge question.
All right.
Which challenge do you like better, the Inferno or the Gauntlet?
I actually like the Inferno better because I was in Acapulco, and whenever you're in a party area kind of like that, I mean, you really can't beat it. I mean, it's so much better than Telluride.
I see.
Megan, thanks for coming. Wow, she was screaming in her phone.
She's from Illinois.
I
You're
hope,
from
she,
Illinois.
I hope she doesn't like work on the phone. I'm sure she's a secretary somewhere. She's probably screaming at people all day long. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow. Okay.
Give us a call, 888-LIVE, WWE. We got Mike the Miz. How do you pronounce your last name? Mike the Mizanin?
Mizanin.
Mizanin. Yes. Tremendous. We got a lot of emails for you, too. Ben from Cleveland, Ohio wants to know what's the difference between the real world and wrestling?
The real world and wrestling? I don't know. The real world, basically, you're always on TV. You have to be as real as possible. Wrestling, I feel is more challenging. Like the real world, I'm just myself at all times. And wrestling, basically, I always have to be thinking, like, what kind of match can I get? What kind of story can I tell? For my promos, I have to always think of what I want to say, how do I want to deliver it. Like, it's just there's so much more to wrestling than the real world.
Well, I think
the real world is crap compared to wrestling, by the way.
No, I think.
I hope the executives at MTV aren't
I mean, it's as entertaining as it is. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just like wrestling so much more.
I don't think the executives of anything
I don't
are
think
watching.
they
Yeah. Miz, I think.
Should you guys turn the other cheek or what?
No, man. I think what you're trying to find is your niche in sports entertainment, and what I try and tell people who start out, it's not necessarily about acting. In fact, it's not about acting. It's about reacting, and that's what this business is. The more real you are, the more people are going to feel it, and the more you're going to feel it as well. So just keep that in mind as you go on and get more matches and experience under your belt.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
So that's it. Miz, listen, we appreciate your time here on Bite This. Go tear up Iowa.
Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. This is truly an honor.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Good luck with everything. Hope to see you here one day.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Very
All
good.
right.
You ever put another magazine in front of my face?
I'm showing stuff that we've got here. Wait a second. I've got a Trish magazine too.
But this is from '82. This is from '92.
This one is
from 2002.
You know why? You know why we got all these Trish magazines?
Why is that?
Because I'm sure that. Well, no, wait. Lita's on the back.
Oh, Lita.
Maybe Lita's a surprise call-in diva.
Who
is it? Tell us
what about Jackie?
It could be Jacqueline.
What about?
It could be Trish.
Wait a minute.
That's Trish right there.
Oh, that is Trish.
It could be Jacqueline or Trish. I keep opening up the page.
What about Terry Runnels?
What about Molly or Stacy?
Ooh.
So the Miz. What do you think about the Miz, Dr. Tom?
You know what? It sounds like a nice guy, but sounds like he needs to get a lot of experience in this business and be around somebody who knows a lot more than he does.
All right. Well, we got a lot going on. We got a lot going down on SmackDown tonight. We'll have the fallout from the Royal Rumble, and I'm sure Chris Benoit showing up on Monday Night Raw will send tremors all the way to SmackDown tonight. Make sure you tune in to your UPN affiliate, 8 Eastern, whatever the rest of the time is for SmackDown. 8 Eastern, though, so it'll be 7, and then so on and so forth until you find out what time SmackDown's on.
But you know what, the big thing, the best thing about Chris Benoit winning the Royal Rumble is he's going to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
Oh, wait, I'm getting something in my ear.
That's another turd, Josh.
No, I got something in my ear. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a surprise call-in. Oh, wait a second.
Is this Surprise Diva?
It's a Surprise Diva that we've been talking about throughout the show, and I believe the Surprise Diva is Trish Stratus. Trish, how's it going?
Surprise!
Hey, Trish, Babe of the Decade. How you feel?
How do I feel? I'm blessed to be called to be crowned Babe of the Year.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm Diva of the Decade, but I'm Babe of the Year.
Babe of the Year.
Babe of the Year
in the Diva
2003.
categories, it's the decade. In the Babe categories, it's just the year.
Trish, have you seen the site, and what do you think about it? Have you seen it?
Oh, I think it's incredible. It turned out so good. I'm so happy with it. Have you guys seen it?
We're taking a look at it actually right now, and everyone who's watching Bite This is taking a look at one of the pages right there. This is babe.wwe.com. Check it out. Trish won. She's a 3-time Diva of the Year winner. Say that 5 times, Dr. Tom. That's pretty tough.
I like it, man. Very cool. Hey, Trish, besides, of course, being Babe of the Year 2003, you've been having a lot of interesting back and forth with Chris Jericho. How's that been going for you on a personal level?
Well, it's very interesting, actually. I think, I'll tell you what, each week is definitely a new surprise so far.
Yeah.
Which I think, kind of keeps you, tuning in each week because it's just new development every week. And I don't know, I think it's really exciting. What do you think?
I think it's very exciting. And
Yeah?
also...
I'm sorry, I'm looking at unscripted right now, Trish, in your
that's
picture.
what I was, we were just looking over that...
you guys go ahead and do whatever you got to do.
No, I was looking at that as well. Why don't you show some of these pictures from unscripted?
Because I want to share them for myself.
Yeah.
Josh, you go look at the Babe of the Year website, and we'll just talk over here.
Babe.wwe.com for all you there in Bite This land.
Very nice. I've got to say, I think the interaction with you and Chris Jericho has been very, as you said, interesting. But do you see it going to the next level? Maybe you joining Chris in the ring even more?
Well, I think so. I mean, that's a great thing I think about us as two characters on the show pairing up is like you kind of know what to expect from a Chris Jericho, you know what to get from Trish Stratus, so put them together and you might have some unexpected things. And I think, the fact that we can both, walk the walk, talk the talk, do our thing in the ring, I think that's, definitely presents some opportunities to do that, and I look forward to actually doing that. We kind of did a few interactions up in Canada at some live events, and we got some really good fan feedback. I think the fans enjoyed seeing our interaction and made for some interesting stuff, for sure.
Yeah, and rumor has it that April's pay-per-view is coming to Canada. Are you excited about that?
Is this a rumor, or are you confirming?
Hold on, let me check on my ear right now. Phil, are we confirming that the April pay-per-view is going to be in, can we call Ed Cohen? We don't know for sure. That's what rumor has it.
Anytime I get to sleep in my own bed, that's a good thing.
Okay, we've heard that before.
Well, and I'm going to have
know.
a big slumber party, so if y'all want to come down.
Okay.
Come on down.
Or we can come on up.
I think April's pay-per-view is a Raw pay-per-view, but I'll come anyway.
That's all right. Hey, Trish, you excited about WrestleMania 20?
Very excited. I think it's going to make for a great week. I think there's a ton of things planned, and we're just going to start finding it. We're starting to find out the details now. So, a very big event. WrestleMania is always an awesome time, and I just, as a fan, I can't wait to, just kind of sit back and watch everything too. I mean, there's a lot of really awesome matches, so it should be awesome.
Yeah, I think we're about 46 days away from WrestleMania 20.
Okay.
The countdown's full on. We're officially on the road ever since the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We know that Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble match, and then, of course, he showed up with you guys on Monday Night Raw. What's it like seeing Chris Benoit over there on Raw?
I'm a huge fan of Chris Benoit, and I think this is, definitely his time, and it's good to see that his time has come, and hopefully will come right up till WrestleMania. So, I'm very excited for him.
And then, of course, for you, Trish, we've seen the return of
Who?
I'm doing my mouth exercises again. Jazz, are you two ready to rekindle the rivalry?
Yeah. Well, she seems to be, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jazz is, I'll tell you what, anytime she enters the arena or the ring or anything, there's definitely some good stuff happening on her end, and I hope to be part of it, because we left on I'm going to say a bad note. So that could be a good note. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. Let's go to the phone. We got a lot of phone calls coming. This one's from Rob from Michigan. Rob, you're on the phone with Trish Stratus.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Rob.
First off, I'd like to say you are very beautiful.
Well, thank you.
No problem. I would like to ask whether do you think it's harder, like being a diva in the WWE, or just like being The Rock or something, having to work your way up?
Well, I don't know. Why don't we call out Rock and ask him? Oh, no.
In my ear, they're telling me that we can't.
Oh, we can't. He's not available right now.
Oh.
Well, I say, it's interesting. As a diva, we have the opportunity to go out and, hit it in the ring and do our thing there, make our mark within the, the division. But we also have to go out, and we have opportunities where we go and we do photo shoots, and we got the opportunity to possibly be on covers and have Baby of the Year websites and things like that. So there's a lot of extra things that we have to master and a lot of things, that we got to go out there and try and be the best that we can be at. And so, yeah, it's definitely a big challenge to be a diva, I think, in the WWE.
The topic of today's show, Trish, was how do I become a superstar? We had Danny Davis, Paul London, and The Miz, who you probably don't have any idea who that is, but they gave us their take. What's a diva's perspective on that?
Well, I think, we just, answering that question, kind of nailed it. I'm sure you guys probably heard throughout the show there's different, ways and different avenues and certain steps you need to take in order to become first a worker in the ring and then first to try and even get to that level, which, a professional level wrestling. But as a woman, too, there's obviously other things you have to be aware of and have to learn to master, like the modeling and just going out there and it's a smaller division. There's less competition. So it's a tougher, place to make your mark in, I guess. But right now it's a great time for the women. Right now we're looking for more women workers because there's actually more opportunity to have them. Before it was just kind of a smaller division and not as much competition. But right now I think women are more interested, more women are tuning in, and I think that makes for just a bigger interest in the women's division altogether. So that's a good thing.
All right, let's go back to the phones. This is Ken calling from Florida. Ken, you're on the phone with Trish Stratus.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Ken.
I'm a huge fan, and I just wanted to ask you, I know you were a supermodel before you started wrestling. How did you get involved in wrestling?
I was a fitness model, and I guess my notoriety within that industry kind of got me on a few talk shows, and I happened to be on a talk show with a few wrestlers. And from there, there was just, the internet was a big part of my coming into the WWE because the buzz started about me via the internet. And I guess basically all the rumors just kind of, people were, who's this Trish Stratus we're talking about? And, JR got in touch with me, and I sent them my press kit, and they got a hold of me, and I started training a little bit on my own, which was very key. I think that's what made the difference. I think if I had gone in there and just said, I want to be a wrestler, probably wouldn't have gotten me as much or high marks as it did as me saying, I went out there, I've been training on my own, I understand the business, I'm a fan of the business, and I had a lot more to offer, I think, at that point. And that was that. JR signed me up in '99, made my television debut March 2000.
And now you're a 3-time Babe of the Year winner and Diva of the Decade.
And a 4-time women's champion.
And a 4-time women's champion.
Soon to be, hopefully, one of these days, 5-time. Not to quote Booker T or anything, but,
Very nice.
I started doing that. He gave me the look like, don't do that, Trish. I said, oh, sorry.
Well, Trish, listen, thanks for being the surprise call-in here on Bite This afternoon. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you for being had. Yes. Very nice.
All right, Trish, well, listen, good luck with everything in your future endeavors. I'm sure that.
Thank you.
And we'll maybe you'll come back next week and be on the phone.
Maybe so.
All right, well, thanks
Very
again.
nice.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Next week we do have a very special co-host because I will be in Louisville, Kentucky, the home of OVW, in which we spoke to the owner, Danny Davis, today. But you're going to have a very special co-host in Victoria next week, Josh. You better watch yourself.
I'm going to wear a suit.
Oh, you are, huh?
No.
Okay, good.
I'll probably fix my hair, though, instead of having these ridiculous glasses in them.
Yeah, that looks great, man.
Tune in tonight to SmackDown tonight.
I wanted to know, do you actually, make it look like that?
Who?
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw's not here.
No, he saw you in, where was it, Philadelphia, and asked, do you really actually, do that to yourself for real?
Man, Bradshaw and I, we go way back.
Yeah, you do.
Tonight on SmackDown, the fallout from the Royal Rumble. Like we mentioned, Chris Benoit showed up on Raw, so all hell is breaking out tonight on SmackDown. How will Paul Heyman respond to Chris Benoit's appearance on Raw?
He ain't going to be happy, man.
No, that's for damn sure. Find out tonight on SmackDown. Also, the WWE Tag Team Championship will be on the line. The Basham Brothers take on Paul London and Billy Kidman, and a rematch from the Royal Rumble. Rey Mysterio defends his Cruiserweight Championship against Jamie By God Noble. So it's going to be an awesome off-the-hook SmackDown. Tune in. I'll be watching.
I hope so.
All right.
You're not going to go to a movie tonight or anything like that?
No, movies tomorrow night, Friday night movies.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
so that's it for Bite This. This has been another successful show. I'm Josh Matthews. He's Dr. Tom. We'll see you next week.